Spiritual warfare is a real thing, but how do you even recognize and how do you manage these large population of human beings? It's really not just to keep us stalemate and stuck in negativity, because external factors feed off from our suffering. It's mostly also to prevent our real progress, because when we are focusing on meaningless, mundane, low vibrational lessons like in the kindergarten, we are playing around with these factors, and it's hinder our progress. Is one of these highly disconnected external factors. They realize the potential of human consciousness, human beings. We also notice among us how resilient people are despite all the challenges, all the misery, all the stress. They are still very resilient. They are still trying to make the best out of situations, and give up when we are extremely tired and no longer manage. Until then, the one of the things that I love about human species, there is a level of warmth, there is a level of thinking, and you can get to some level of connection and attention by having enlightening conversations or different conversations, because we have the will to improve. Um, because of this spiritual warfare, uh, and it's not like in the real school with a textbook. At least we know there are information within these books. These external factors are gone to extreme lengths to misinform and mess with the information, accurate information, so that we are going around circles trying to make sense out of our existence, because if you really pay attention to the information warfare, spiritual warfare, you'll recognize that very easily, because the human consciousness, individually, collectively, they are constantly trying to seek, perhaps not not on the surface. They might not have understanding, but growth has to happen. And when you are not connecting, when you feel everything seems a bit impossible or out of reach, this is the time that you become sick and disconnected and withdrawn from this spiritual warfare, because simply we are really tired, because we spend a lot of time within the negativity, and not having the ability to understand how to go internal, because of the lack of information, because of misinformation. This is where we have to stay really focused and work on ourselves. Now, we understand, we speak about shadow work and mirror work, or negativity. Everyone in the spiritual community speak about these things, but one thing we really have to understand is the human species. In comparison with the tree of life, we are already on the surface, meaning we are not roots anymore. We have a life, and we are on the surface, and somebody's given birth. With that, we have a lot of inherent wisdoms and information, because of the ancestral connection. and we become on the surface, and because we are individuals, we're human beings. But these ancestral trauma bodies, um, because we spend our unknown parts of ourselves, which is our history, is there, all the lessons and all the wisdoms where you are meant to stay focused. It's already within us. All we have to do is tap into these and sort of trying to get into a path where things are accurate, because misinformations are everywhere, and this is how the system is designed. Now, instead of blaming all the external factors, we have to take our personal responsibility. Before we blame anybody, if we stay connected and vigilant, things start making sense, and we are going to ask questions. One of the easiest way they can keep us stalemate or entrapped from the negativity, when we know they are just a mirror work, which is a mirror is there not to just stare at it all day. It's there so you can observe and correct some areas where you need to fix your hair or something. So you have observation. That is the purpose of mirror work. But what hinders the progress is that the human beings have, because of all the misinformation, and we become more judgmental because we are disconnected and because we don't have accurate information. They just lay the groundwork for us to maintain the extreme level of disconnection. So therefore, they are not doing any work. We are the one who's adding to these extreme level of stress that we are carrying and we're burdened with. One of these things in our social structure, humans are separated because of how do you measure intelligence? This is one of these situations where people are constantly getting into a box, meaning they are categorizing their level of importance in our social structure because of education, because of financial, because of class. It really doesn't matter, but because the spiritual warfare is a real thing, these are the areas that we need to pay attention. It's like 3D circumstances, like a sinking ship. The best thing is for us, that is gifted us from the Creator. Our minds have no boundaries. Our thoughts have no boundaries. Uh, the negativity is there as the lessons. It is our personal responsibility to ask questions and resolve them and elevate our understanding and shift the vibrational existence into a bit higher. When we have problems, they're not there to just add more problems. It's a common sense observation, rather. It's adding more problems continuously is not the purpose. When we have problems, we have to have the ability to resolve them by discovering a level of truth that is uh, you tap into through your internal understanding and connections. This is what the ancestral lessons are all about, because they've already gone through level of lessons, level of problems, level of challenges, sometimes positive things, because they've experienced them. And just like the tree of life, the season changes, the leaves fall down, the new season comes, and they have that inherent wisdom for the next season. They can make a change and shift how they grow with the environmental factors that was there before, so they can climatize. Our human consciousness is the same thing. We can climatize by understanding what is really happening. But we cannot let our guard down with our information. You hear this often, especially if you are a female. It seems like the social structure is designed to continuously undermine the female contribution or female wisdom, and keeping them sort of perpetuating the similar patterns, so that culturally or religious or social economical ways they are sort of stuck more often than not. But they also have wisdom. It is the crucial part, because the female is the one who create life, and this is another extremely triggering point for these unknown entities. They have this uh, dislike or hatred towards these creative feminine energies. But it doesn't really matter. It is for our personal responsibility to overcome these by maintaining the level of health, mind, body, and spirit. Health by having the accurate awareness to information. Now, in the social structure, when you are separated from individuals because of the education or economy, we actually prevent our progress. Let's speak about this thing. What for life to grow, which is the human consciousness, it is the purpose of growth is maintaining the integrity of humanness. It's like every other species. Humanness is what makes us unique, that makes us important. This is how we maintain a natural ecosystem, by protecting our humanness individually and collaboratively. This is our purpose. But if we are stuck with the misinformation and disconnect from the collective consciousness because we have decided to make a judgment call and create self-importance for some groups but not the other, we actually it defeat the purpose. Economic separation is one of those things in a modern day. It's even though it's a spiritual warfare, it is the economic warfare is deliberately designed to keep us in trap, because for example, the essential workforce, there is extreme level of separation from one group to another, because the what is important to maintain life, uh, cleanliness, the food, the nutritional factors. It's not a style that we had to follow. It's not a trend. We had to nurture ourselves by eating a proper, effective food. But we're not doing that. We are making it a fashion or a business model with our food. Um, we don't really have a clear understanding, then you have to go to a specialist or some kind of specialist business model to figure out what we're supposed to feed ourselves. Now, that's a huge area where we don't nurture ourselves properly, we can function properly. When we know that in a personal level, when I used to work, I remember eating from outside is tasty, it's you can continue to eat, but it's never really makes you happy because you feel sluggish after. Your digestive system feels off, you get inflammation, you get breakouts if you continue to eat this way. So you have to quickly make a judgment call. This is convenient, but it's really not the best thing for me. These are another area. Another one, we spend a lot of time in school getting programmed. We misinterpret that as the intelligence. Um, Maybe these people are very easy to talk to. They come up with the fancy words, but they're a level of sustain life in a balanced manner is probably not that great. They might have more resources than another. Maybe they can buy off resources by paying someone, but it's not a self-sufficient entity. They constantly have to rely on somebody else to support their style of life. So this is another misconception that we have. It's helping to keep one level down, and another level is self-importance. Because of the spiritual warfare that's deprived people from making true connections, and humanness suffers because of that. See, these are little areas that we can observe and shift our understanding. For example, you can be a very fancy a lawyer, um, and or I'm not criticizing the profession, but it's just a simple example. But you can be a housekeeper that have extremely balanced, beautiful life set up for them, because they have awareness at what is the most important thing. They are making their house most beautiful and a relaxing place, so they can support their mind, body, and spirit life, and they can provide them with, nurture them with the proper diets, and they are more observant about the natural existence of human consciousness. So then, for example, these people, if they don't have the services to support their style of life, they can suffer regardless of the level of resources they have. So then making a judgment call, these people are more intelligent than someone who's doing essential work, is also hinder our progress. Just like, but the trick is us to recognize when we are not um, doing a high profile jobs or employment. We have our own insecurities because we are constantly thinking we're not good enough, we haven't accomplished anything, we don't have the